So to go from standard to vertex, so this is in standard form, this one is to put the first two terms only in brackets. Because remember, when you go to vertex form, you have a bracket x minus h squared plus k, right? So k is by, this is not k, there's still more added to it, but it's the idea, it's the look of it, okay? Then, in order to complete the square, I have to factor whatever the coefficient is in front of x squared, okay? So the coefficient in front of x squared has to be factored out from the bracket, okay? This is your GCF, okay? But in this case, even if it doesn't go into the 8, you still have to factor it out, okay? So let's say if this was a 9x, not an 8x, I still have to factor out the 4, even if it doesn't go into my x term, okay? So that term must always be factored out. So step number 2, factor out the coefficient of x. So in this case, it will be, divide this by 4, that will be 2x.
Correct.
Plus 7. Okay? Are we okay with this so far?
Yep.
Okay. Now, step number 3, and this is going to be a side note. 2. So it's going to be a side note. This is part of your solution, but not in the solution. So you take the coefficient of the x, which is 2. You always divide by 2. Okay? So you take that coefficient and you divide it by 2. Always. So you're going to get 1 in this case. And then after you divide by 2, you square it. Okay? These are always the steps. So you take the coefficient of x, divide it by 2, and square. So you see that my term is, in this case, is 1. Okay? I am completing the square. That means I want to make this a squared term. You'll see what. You'll see what happens. Step number 4. After I find this term right here, which is a 1 in this case, you have to add it and subtract it inside your bracket. So this right here, you add it and you subtract it inside the bracket. Now, why do I add and subtract? Why do I add 1 and then subtract 1? Do you guys know? Do you know why I'm adding 1 and subtracting 1 at the same time? What's plus 1 minus 1? 0. So by adding 1 and subtracting 1, I'm not changing my equation because I'm doing the plus and the minus right away. So they cancel each other. Okay? If I just add 1, I'm changing my whole equation. Right? But if I add 1 and subtract 1, I didn't do anything. 0. Okay? I'm just changing the format. Remember that the only thing I'm doing here is changing the format. Okay? My answer should still be the same at the end. Now, step number 4. I only want this inside my bracket. I don't want this. I have to take this one out. Okay? I'll show you why at the end. I want to take this one out. But if I take this one out, because it's inside the bracket and there's a 4 here, what does that mean? It's multiplied by the 4 because it's inside the bracket. So when I take it out, I have to multiply it by the 4 first. So 4 times negative 1 is negative 4. So that means I am taking out a negative 4.
When you take it out of the bracket, does it become louder?
Nope, because you're not changing the side of it. it's still on the same equal sign. You see? I'm not moving it away from, like, on the other side of the equal sign, right? Now this is your last step. Your last step is writing it in a form of a square. Okay? Do you guys see that this is a trinomial? Right? If I actually do the sum and product, I'm gonna get whatever answer I'm gonna tell you right now. So how do you find that answer? Square root the first term. So square root of x squared gives me x. This sign has to go down here. Square root of 1 is 1. Okay? And I put these square on. Plus 3 because negative 4 plus 7. Does this look like a vertex form? What's your HAK?
Negative 1.
Negative 1. Now, why am I doing all of this? Right? Why does it work? That's the question. Why does it work? Remember that in vertex form, I have x minus h squared. This is a squared term, okay? So a squared term is going, if I multiply this, if I actually expand this, just the x minus h, this is what I'm going to get. X squared minus hx minus hx, and then plus h squared. Do you guys agree? Mm-hmm. Right? If I do the FOIL,
Yeah.
So that would be x squared minus 2hx plus h squared, right? Do we all agree on that? Okay. Now, let's look at this. X squared, right? I have the x right here, and I have the x right here. I have the 2, and I have the 2, right? If I multiply 2x times what to give me 2x? 2x times what gives me 2x?
1.
2x times 1, right? So my h is 1 in this case, right? Because 2x times 1 is equal to 2x. Right? I have the 2, I have the x, so what's left?
1.
H is equal to 1. Now my last term is 1 squared, right? Is h squared, so it's 1 squared in this case. Right? So I can actually, this is the same thing as writing x minus plus 1 in this case because that's a plus, times x plus 1, which is x plus 1 squared. And this is what I have down here at the bottom. Okay? There is a huge, like this is just, I'm showing you the steps. If I actually have to teach you this, like properly, I have to teach you doing perfect square first. How to expand perfect square, using the formula of perfect square. Then I have to teach you this. Okay? There's many lessons that comes before it. All what I want you to do right now is I don't want you to understand per se why am I doing these steps. Just know how to do this. Okay? But I want you to also understand that we're completing the square. So we are basically using this formula right here. Okay? And that's why I divide by 2, because of that 2 right here. And I square because I have a square right here. That's why I square. Okay? So it is a complicated steps. It's not easy. It's not like 1 plus 1, okay? But you need to understand it.
But we're not going to test numbers.
You guys